Hello, my name is William Paterson, and I am a senior student assistant for the honors program at Elizabethtown College. Last week, we heard from 4 current students who are members of the honors program, and they offered their perspective as to why prospective students should consider joining the honors program community. This week, we will be hearing from a couple members of our honors program alumni, and we'll be hearing their perspective as to what the honors program meant to them and how they've been able to apply the knowledge they received to their career endeavors. Elizabethtown College lives by the philosophy of the Blue Jays and how they flock together. We support one another, especially when it comes to planning for the future. As you will hear from the members of our alumni, they have been able to count on the honors program in helping them conduct projects, research, and helping them plan for the future they envisioned. Let's listen and learn more about our alumni.
So my name is Sarah Laco, as you mentioned, and I was a Spanish and political science double major at Elizabethtown College. I was a member of the honors program, which was such a wonderful and formative experience. And then following my graduation, I was actually able to be a Fulbright English teaching assistant in Galicia, Spain, which was also a wonderful experience. And I am currently working as a Spanish teacher in Boca Raton, Florida. My journey began with the honors program initially through my cousin, actually. She was a biology major, 2 years older than I was, and she attended ETOWN. And so when she was a junior in college, I was a freshman. And she was a member of the honors program, so she spoke about it at length to me. And I immediately knew that it was something I wanted to be a part of. And so I applied, I was able to get in. And my very first experience with the honors program was through HOOT, or the Honors Outdoor Orientation Track. And I remember loving that time. It was such a wonderful moment just to be immersed in the honors program culture and to be able to spend time with like-minded peers. So that was really when my journey began with the honors program. And throughout college, I attended honors courses. I had my honors thesis. I did honors in the discipline as well. And I was able to attend some incredible conferences with the support of the honors program.
So I knew that I wanted to go into English, but I wasn't necessarily sure, oh, do I want to do like creative writing, do I want to do education? I wasn't entirely sold on either of those. It was the professional writing major that really fascinated me, and it was kind of specific to E-Town. So a bit of a perfect storm there that it was just the right school for me. Um, I think the other really interesting thing that I liked about E-Town was just all the opportunities that were available. I feel like I wanted to get the full college experience, both socially and academically. So being able to do big projects like the honors and the discipline was just a huge plus. I remember going as a prospective student and hearing about people who were like, oh yeah, for my big honors project, I wrote a book. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I wanna do that." But my honors in a discipline project, actually, it was kind of twofold, but part of it was writing a novel.
Well, one of the things that I absolutely loved about the honors program was the fact that since ETOWN is a small campus to begin with, you really receive personalized support from the honors program advisors and professors. And so I remember going into class every day. One of my favorite courses was Hebrew Bible, which is taught by Dr. Bucher. And I loved that class because it was small. The class maybe had 12 or 13 students. And that was a really formative time for me because I was able to receive that personalized, individualized attention that I had honestly craved because I was from a much larger area and went to a very large high school. And so I loved the personal class sizes. And one of the things that I really loved about my time with the honors program was the opportunity to attend different conferences. And so I was able to attend the US Naval Academy Leadership Conference with some other honors students. And that was wonderful, not just because I was able to participate in an event with other like minded peers, but I was able to get to know some of my fellow honors peers in such a wonderful and intimate way. And so there are just so many experiences that I can mention with the honors program that were fantastic and certainly, very wonderful. But those are just a few of the things that come to mind when I think about the honors program.
Being able to, it was almost like creating your own curriculum for yourself. And of course, I tend to do things to like the nth degree. So at one point, my professors were like, "This is kind of two projects, Rebecca," and I said, "Oh, it's fine." um, to elaborate a bit on the project I did, because I feel like that will help kind of formulate my answer. It was part kind of social media and research, and then part creative writing. And it was all centered around depictions of depression and suicide in young adult media. So I looked at everything from the TV show, the Netflix adaptation 13 Reasons Why, to books like It's Kind of a Funny Story. Um, I looked at just a huge broad swath of media, and I blogged about it and did some social media work to promote the blog. And then I used that research to inform just the literature that I was writing. So it was a bit of a strange project, but I kind of liked it that way. It wasn't just, oh, I'm writing like a big research paper for my honors project. It was being able to, it was really one of my favorite things I did as a student at ETOWN, was just being able to create something and have professors backing on it. It just meant a lot to me to be able to do all of that work and have it kind of amount to something.
My main job is not just to teach kids, but to be inquisitive myself. And so one of the things that the honors program really allowed me to do is to become more curious about the world around me and to really master my writing craft. And as a teacher, that's so incredibly influential, because I remember doing these very long research papers and writing them for the honors program, and creating my honors thesis. And at the time, I didn't realize how beneficial it would be. I thought to myself, oh, this is kind of a mountain of work, and how am I going to tackle this? But now, as a teacher, I am helping students write their essays. I'm helping them to develop their own writing craft. And I can see myself going very far in the future in the field of education. And I don't know if that would have happened, and I would have had those personal feelings about my aspirations for the future had I not been in the honors program. I honestly can say that I don't think I would have had that.
At times there was just so much flexibility, which, I mean, at first that's a huge plus because it's like I can craft this to become anything I want it to be. But it also meant that sometimes I was having all these ideas and I was just in over my head without even realizing it. And I was like still digging. Um, so being able to schedule regular, like required meetings with the three professors with whom I worked on the project, being able to share like, here are the plans, the five things that I thought of this week, and being able to hear back from them and get their feedback, and hear, I had the perspective of a professor who was formerly like a middle school teacher. I had the perspective of a professor who studies American literature, and I have the perspective of a professor who um, is a published writer. So it was really helpful for me to kind of take all of these loose threads that I had and just were all tangled. I didn't know what to do with them. It was just really wonderful to be able to sit down with all of these very accomplished professors and just talk through all of kind of the messiness of trying to form the project into something full-fledged and realized.
And I think back to all of my professors who taught honors courses, and I remember them being just so incredibly passionate about the work that they did and about their field of study. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that's something that I really want to instill in myself in the future. And I was not planning on going into the educational field. I was planning on perhaps becoming a lawyer or going into business and something of the like. And now I absolutely love it. And I think that the honors program taught me, as I mentioned before, to be just more curious about the world, to question things, to write better, to participate more. And I feel that I am participating more in the world by instructing other kids kind of in the same manner that the honors program taught me So that's just been an incredible experience. I'm really grateful for that.
Twofold when you're looking at what university or college you might want to go to, what you want to do with your life. And it's so easy on one hand to say, oh, just follow your dreams, do what you want to do. But you may have this pressure from family or society in general to conform and just do a typical degree and a typical major and just, feel like you're locked into a typical life. I think that if you look for a healthy balance, that's kind of what I think I did. I looked for a healthy balance of a place where I would have a rigid academic structure, but I could be creative when the time came for it. Um, Looking at these programs and looking at like, what do I want to do? Not just what major do I want to do, but what do I want to do with my life? I think the other side of it too is that, you know, going into college, it seems like it's a big life changing decision, but you are young. Like you have the flexibility and the capacity to pivot at any point in your life. And it takes hard work to do that. And it can be scary, but I think it's worth it.
There are many things that I would tell them, but the biggest one is don't go to a school where you're just a number. And I know that I mentioned that before, but it's so incredibly important to really impress upon people. You don't want to go to a college or university where you're just going to be treated as one person among thousands. It's not going to end well. It might not be the best learning style for you. And of course, there are people who flourish and really excel in large environments. But if you're looking for a place where you don't feel overwhelmed, I think that Elizabethtown College is really the right place for you. And with regards to other factors, I think that joining clubs and universities at school is huge. And the honors program I know holds many different events. We have we had the honors program holiday banquet or dinner that was incredible. And so I think just getting plugged into those smaller events and smaller groups really allows you to feel like you're part of something, because you're part of something that's bigger than yourself, but you can do it in such a way where you're not going to feel overwhelmed. You're not going to feel inundated by all of these other students. And you get to develop these personal relationships that will ultimately impact how you view college. And I know that I was always very shy in high school. I was very nervous to go to a school that was even a little bit larger than my high school. But going to ETOWN and being a member of the honors program allowed me to really understand how I can make an impact, and allowed me to participate more. It allowed me to think more. And most of all, it allowed me to just interact with some like-minded peers and to spend a lot of time just discussing the world with them. So I would tell a prospective student that they should go to a place where they know that they're going to just be treated as more than just a number. They're going to be valued, they're going to be respected, and ultimately they are going to have a home, which I think is the most important part. You want to make sure that you feel at home when you're at a college or university.
Thank you so much to the members of the alumni who agreed to take part in this interview. And we wish you all the best in your future career endeavors. And thank you for tuning in and hearing from our alumni. Stay tuned next week when we hear from our faculty about why they believe it is important to encourage ingenuity, creativity, and enlightenment in the classroom. And then after that, there will be a brief wrap-up, bringing our docuseries to a close. Thank you very much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day.